All right, Joel, how's the weather looking for tonight, man?
It's looking pretty clear. I say partly cloudy all through the night. Mid-60s we're looking at until the sun goes down. Then it'll get pretty cold, 56 degrees when it's all said and done. And then for this weekend, we have 67 degrees today with partly cloudy. No chance of rain, actually. And then as we get into tomorrow, it'll be 68 and sunny. And then on Sunday, 71 and Sunday sunny as well.
All right, sounds good. That's all we have from the news desk today.
Learners today.
Leaders tomorrow.
Red arrows for life.
With the weather. Thanks, guys, and welcome to our first weather segment of the year. I'm Joel Fritsma, your meteorologist, and here's today's forecast. We're looking at mostly sunny, expected high of 76 with no chance of rain at all. And if you look at our Brian Aschenbrenner Almanac, you can see that today's high is supposed to be right around the normal of 75, but not as extreme as our record set back in 2013 of 94. And our low was actually pretty cold this morning. It was 37 degrees. And so you take a look at our today's highs. You can see it's supposed to be pretty warm if you're in the West Michigan area. And as you go for areas further south, expect near 80. And as we look at our week ahead, today, 76, mostly sunny. And then as we get into the later portions of the week, we're going to see Hurricane Irma make a factor on the forecast with temperatures in the 80s on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday with very little chance of rain. That's all I have for today. Back to you guys at the news desk.
There we go. Joel has the weather looking.
It's looking pretty nice. It's going to be pretty warm, unseasonably warm to be exact. Temperatures tonight, however, it's going to be in the mid-70s. It's actually going to be a pretty nice night for Hawaiian out, speaking of which. And then as we look into this weekend, we can see it's going to be in the mid-80s, and the drought continues, but we have a chance of storms on Sunday. That's all I have.
Very good to hear.
On a different note, Joel, how's the weather looking this week?
Well, it's looking good, guys, but first, we have a little bit of trivia for today, the weather word of the day. It's asperatus undulatus, which is a wavy type of cloud you usually see before and after storms. Usually we don't get too often. We usually get mammatus clouds, which are the bumpy ones. Anyways, let's get into today's weather. You can see today it's going to be partly cloudy, another beautiful day, above average highs, 77 degrees, and the drought continues, 0% chance of rain. This has been 2 weeks now with no rain. So you can see, next slide. Today's Brian Aschenbrenner Almanac, today's high 77, which is just 4 degrees above average of 73, but not as near as extreme as the record set back in 1906 of 94, and then the low today, 54 degrees, about average as well, but not as extreme as 37 set back in 1959. As we go around the area today, you can see it's supposed to be mid-70s all across the board. A little bit warmer as you go south, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek area, and as you go to Lakeshore, lake's not cooling off things, so 70s there. And as we look at the week ahead, high 70s Monday and Tuesday, and then it gets really hot. Mid-80s and even 90 Thursday and possibly Friday for the football game. And still no chance of rain in sight, so we could be in extreme drought here soon. And pretty clear conditions. That's all I have for today. Guys, back to you at the news desk.
Thank you, Joel. That was amazing.
All right, guys. So we broke some records yesterday. In Grand Rapids, it was 92 degrees, and we broke that by 3 degrees, 95. And in the Lansing area, it was 95 as well, breaking the record of 94 back in 1906. And as we look at this weekend's weather, or tonight's weather, we can see it's still going to stay hot. It's 87, 82, 78, 76 throughout the night with no chance of rain at all. And as we look at the rest of the weekend, heat index is over 100 today with a high being almost 100, 95 degrees. And then tomorrow it gets a little cooler but still pretty hot, 92, and Sunday 91.
Thank you, Joel. That's all we have for today. From everyone here at the news desk,
Leaders today.
leaders tomorrow,
Red arrows for life.
Now back over to the news desk.
Okay, Joel, how are we looking for weather tonight, man?
Well, it's looking a little bit cooler than last week, actually a lot cooler, in the 30 degrees colder. But first we're going to look at the drought monitor. As you can see, we're in moderate drought after 3.5 weeks of no rain. We did have a little bit last night, but not enough to change anything anytime soon. As you look at tonight's forecast, we're going to be in the low 60s to the high 50s all night with no chance of rain, partly cloudy, mostly sunny, and then it eventually clears out. So we look into the weekend. We you can see is going to be in the 60s, but then a rebound of the warmth comes starting next week. We could see 80s again, partly cloudy, sunny, partly cloudy through the weekend.
Excellent, Joel. Well, that's all we have for the announcements today, but make sure you stay tuned for a video that will literally knock your socks off. From everyone here at the news desk,
Learners today.
leaders tomorrow, Red Arrows for life.
How's the weather looking?
Well, I'll get right into that, but first we have the weather word of the day, and that is the lenticular cloud, which is a stationary lens-shaped cloud that forms usually in troposphere above the mountains or in a large city, and that's due to the interference of wind, and that makes those wavy patterns in the clouds. So let's look at today's weather. So you can see it's supposed to be in the 80s again. I promised you the warmth would return, and here it is, partly cloudy and no chance of rain. If you look at our Brian Aschenbrenner Almanac, we can see today's high, 80 of course, is way above average of 66 and almost to the record of 87 set back in 1971. And the low today was around average, 48, and 27 is the record low of 1974. As we go around the area today, we can see the 80s are going to stay inland, and then if you go towards Lakeshore or further north, you're going to see mid-70s. So it's not going to be all over Michigan today. As we get into our week ahead, you can see the warmth only stays at the beginning of the week, 80 and 83, and then it starts getting cooler again with a chance of thunderstorms on Wednesday, maybe severe. We'll have to continue to watch that, and then as we get into Friday, we'll be in the mid-60s and another chance of rain. That's all I have for today. Back to you at the news desk.
Joel, how's the weather looking this weekend?
Well, it's looking a little bit rainy compared to last week. Showers pretty much all through the night, 7 through 10, and mid-60s as your temperatures. And as we look into the weekend, you can see it will be 68 today as a high, and then a brief warm-up for tomorrow with a chance of scattered showers, 70% chance of rain, and then Sunday will be pretty nice, 77 and sunny.
Well, thank you, Joel. That's all we have for the announcements today. From everyone here at the news desk,
Learners today.
leaders tomorrow,
Red Arrows for life.
Before we continue, announcements. Joel, how's the weather looking this week?
Well, it's going to be a roller coaster ride this week, but first we have the weather word of the day, which is a land spout. No, it's not a tornado. It's not associated with a mesocyclone, so it doesn't do any damage. And as we look at today's weather, we can see is going to be another pleasant day. Partly cloudy, 79, and no chance of rain at all. As we look at our Brian Aschenbrenner Almanac, we can see it is going to be 79, obviously, which is way above average of 63 and almost to the record of 84. And today's low is 50, right around average. And here's today's highs around the area. It's going to be 70s all across West Michigan and even down south as you get into the I-94 corridor and to the Lakeshore, which is mid-70s as well. And as we look at our week ahead, powered by storm, high 70s today, and then we get into the 60s and even 50s for Wednesday with a chance of moderate showers, almost a 100% chance. And then we warm back up for our homecoming game on Friday, 71 and partly cloudy. Guys, that's all I have for today. Back to you.
What's today? Joel, how's the weather looking for the weekend?
It's looking very pleasant. Tonight we start with 69 and partly cloudy, and then as we get into the evening hours, it'll clear out with 61 being about the departure time. And as we look into the weekend, it'll be 77 today with mostly sunny skies. Partly cloudy as we get into Saturday, and then Sunday it'll be a little bit cooler. Rain to some storms on Sunday, and then as we get into the week, there might be a chance of snow on Friday night next week. So we'll keep an eye out for that. That's all I have.
That's all the news we have today from everyone here at the news desk. Learners today.
Leaders tomorrow.
Red Arrows for life.
Nice job,
For the
guys.
day. Now over to Joel with weather.
All right, guys. Thank you. Tonight's weather is looking pretty cold. Mid-40s all throughout the night and no chance of a clear sky. It's going to be cloudy with a little chance of rain, mainly in the evening hours as we go towards midnight. And as we look into the weekend forecast, it's going to be a wet weekend. 49 is the high today with 30% chance of rain. Tomorrow, a better chance of rain, 50%. And on Sunday, we could see a mixture of rain and wet snow with a 25% chance of precipitation. That's all I have.
Big news out of North Korea, huh, Mr. Vanderwerf?
Sure.
That's all we have for the announcements today.
Learners today,
Leaders tomorrow.
Red Arrows for life.
Weather.
Well, guys, Michigan weather has returned. It is officially going to be a cold day today. Expected high is 46 with rain in the morning, obviously, and it could transition to snow late tonight, so we'll have to keep a look out for that. Chance of precipitation is 90%. As we look at Brian Aschenbrenner Almanac, see today is going to be below average, which is 55. but not as extreme as the record, which was actually 79 set back in 1950. And the low today was 34, which is just 4 degrees below average, but not as cool as 18 degrees set back in 1950. As we look around the area today, we can see it is supposed to be mid-40s all across the board, a little cooler as you get to the lakeshore, but other than that, it's looking pretty normal. And as we look at the week ahead, it's supposed to be 46 today, obviously, and then a little cooler tomorrow, 42, and more of a chance of snow then, 50% chance. Wednesday, it's 45, partly cloudy. It's a nice day. 58 for Thursday. Pretty surprising. We're going to have some more heat coming in, especially next week, too. We could see 60 next Monday. Guys, that's all I have. Back to you at the news desk.
Hey, now over to Joel with a breaking weather news update.
All right, thanks, Brian. First, we got to look at the weekend forecast. Today and tomorrow, we're going to see mid-40s. A little chance of rain today, but more of a chance of rain Saturday, tomorrow. And then Sunday, we're looking at 57 and chance of severe thunderstorms. And I'd like to look at that a little more because this is extreme. So Sunday, it's looking like we will have a slight risk as of now, and that's pretty good for 3 days out. It's starting to shape up to be like the November 2013 outbreak, which we had a high risk, and in that day alone, Illinois had 101 tornado warnings issued. The threats for Sunday are damaging hail, 2 inches plus, damaging downdrafts, and a maximum tornado threat, which would be in the hatched area, which is the orange, so that's more for the area south. And I would like to reiterate on the severe thunderstorm warning, because we might see a lot of those this weekend. If you're outside, get into a car, bus, or the nearest building. If you're in the woods, pick a low area under small trees, so if you're out hunting this weekend, that's what you need to do. If you're out boating, get to land immediately and keep a radar on you. Do not hang around metallic objects. Don't go near trees, poles, clotheslines, or overhead wires, and stay inside, away from windows. And for the tornado warning, what you want to do is stay away from the windows, obviously, and doors and exterior walls. Make sure you are always protecting your head. Take shelter in the basement or the most interior room on the lowest floor of your building. Those interior rooms would be the bathroom, which would be your primary focus. If you don't have one on the interior, then you'd want to be in a closet or an interior hallway. And if you're out driving, pull over, vacate, and go to the nearest structure or ditch. Do not try to outrun. As you can see in the bottom right corner, do not look outside until the warning has expired. Some tornadoes are rain-wrapped. Do not make recording the tornado your first priority, and do not attempt to outrun or override it. An example would be the Weather Channel in the bottom right corner, and it did not end up so well. So that's all I have.
That's all the announcements we have for today from everyone here at the news desk. Learners today.
Leaders tomorrow.
Red arrows
till the end of the year.
What's the weather looking for this week?
It's looking a little dry to begin. But first, this weekend, the severe weather stayed south because the warm front stayed south, so unfortunately we didn't get any severe weather. Today we're looking at mid-40s, 45 degrees, and no chance of rain, mostly sunny. And as we look at the Sarah DeCam Almanac, we can see that today will be 45 and the low is 31, which is both below average and really far below the record of 77, the high set back in 1975, and 9 degrees is the low record set back in 1951. As we take a look around the area today, we can see mid-40s all across the board, a little cooler as you get towards the lakeshore, but a little warmer as you get towards I-94. And as we look into the week ahead, it'll be mid-40s to start the week, very dry, no chance of rain, but as we get into Thursday, a chance of AM rain will be in the forecast, and it'll clear out into the afternoon, but it'll still stay cloudy. And then Friday, it's going to be pretty cold, 31 as the high. And coming up, we can see snow days will be coming, so stay tuned on my Twitter and Snapchat right here at Joel_Fritsma. Guys, that's all I have for this try. Back to you.
Attention all students. Hey Joel, how's the weather looking today?
Well, it's going to start out pretty calm and clear, but as we get into the overnight hours, it'll turn into showers, and by 10 p.m., there'll be a 100% chance of rain, unfortunately. And that will continue tomorrow. As we look at this weekend's forecast, it'll be 46 today and tomorrow with chance of rain more likely tomorrow. And then Sunday, a cold front comes in, 33 is the high with a chance of flurries. That's all I have.
That's all we have for the news today from everyone here at the news desk.
Learners today.
Leaders tomorrow.
Red arrows for life.
Before we get into the news, Joel has the weather for this Thanksgiving week.
Oh, well, it's supposed to be a little bit of a dip this week, but good afternoon. Welcome back to another weather segment on the R.A.R Report. I'm your host meteorologist, Joel Fritsma, and as we get into the forecast, we got to look at the weather word of the day first, though. Graupel, it's the most weather debated word in the weather community. It's not hail, actually. It's precipitation that starts as snow, and then it gets layered by updrafts, which turn into showers, and then it freezes again as it gets to the ground. And that's it for that. So as we look into today's forecast, pretty nice, 48 degrees and sunny with no chance of rain at all. And as we look into Channing Perry Almanac, today's high, 48, 3 degrees above average of 45. And then today's low is 29, which is 3 degrees below the average of freezing. And nothing compared to the records of 71 set back in 1930 or 13 set back in 1969. Let's look at the highs around the area today. You can see it'll be 45 as we get to the lake shore, so that'll be a little cooler than areas further inland. And then as you get down towards I-94, 50 degrees for Battle Creek. It's pretty nice. And as we look into the week ahead, it's powered by storm. Monday it'll be today 48 degrees, sunny, and then as we get into tomorrow, it's supposed to be a bit windy, gusts around 20 to 30, 46 is the high. And then as we get to Wednesday, cool down, cold front comes in, 34 degrees and partly cloudy, and that will stay the wet rest of the way throughout the week. As we get into the Thanksgiving weekend, 48 degrees. Guys, that's all I have. Back to you guys at the news desk.
Let's get into the news. First, we have the weather with Joel.
All right, welcome back to another weather segment on the R.A.R. report. This week it's supposed to be pretty normal, actually. Today's temperature, first of all, 50 degrees and mostly sunny, so that is above average. So take a look at the Channing Perry Almanac. Today we're looking at 50 degrees, which is just 8 degrees above average, but not as close to the record of 65 set back in 1990. And the low today was 26, which is just 3 degrees below the average of 29. And then the record low was 5 degrees set back in 1977. As we look at the temperatures around the area today, across the board we can see 50s mainly inland, but as you get towards the lakeshore, it'll be 49 pretty much all the way down. And as we get into the week ahead, today, 50 degrees, mostly sunny with a little chance of rain coming late tonight. And then tomorrow, 57 degrees, pretty warm. Shower late at night, that could change to maybe ice, but very unlikely chance. And then as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, mid-40s, and a chance of rain comes on Thursday. And for the weekend, it clears out, partly cloudy. Guys, that's all I have. Back to the news desk.
Hey Joel, how's the weather looking for the weekend?
Well, it's looking pretty nice, pretty above average as usual. It'll be 48 tonight, and then it'll get cooler as we get into the overnight hours with no chance of rain at all, partly cloudy. And as we look into the weekend, 49 today, and then 51 and 51 for Saturday and Sunday. No chance of rain in sight. And as we look into the weather headlines upcoming, first polar vortex begins this week, which means temperatures will be in the low 30s to low 20s possibly. And with that means Michigan winter weather is returning, possibly late next week, with snow accumulating around 1 to 3 inches. That's not for certain yet. So with that means snow day predictions will be starting up again starting next week. That's all I have.
That's all we have for the news today. From everyone here at the news desk, learners today,
Leaders tomorrow.
Red Arrows
for life.
Now over to Joel for the weather update.
Good afternoon, LHS, and welcome to December. Today's weather word of the week, snow squall, a sudden moderately to heavy snowfall event, which features blowing snow and strong gusty surface winds. It's basically similar to a blizzard in Michigan. We usually are faced with these in the lake effect bands. And a side note to that, the National Weather Service will be issuing these snow squall warnings beginning this winter to alert when traveling will become dangerous because of these. And as we look into today's forecast, 58 today, gusty thunder showers all across the area, 50% chance mainly in the morning here. And then as we look into the Channing Perry Almanac, 58 today's high, 39 is the average, so that's well above the average and almost to the record high, 65 set back in 2012. Today's low is 37, 10 degrees above average of 27, and not as extreme as 6 degrees set back in 1893. Let's look across the area today. Temperatures range from 60 degrees down to the mid-50s, and 60 degrees can be found in Kalamazoo, so a pretty nice day down there. Otherwise, 50s up here. Let's look into the week ahead. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour today and tomorrow. Temperatures today really high, 58 degrees. And then as we get into the rest of the week, 30 degrees, and 28 is what's going to be the high Friday with no chance of snow in sight yet. So we'll keep an eye on that. As we look at the predictions for this week, pretty low. On the low end, 5% for snow day, 10% for ice day, and 1% for wind chill day. Guys, that's all I have. Back to you. All right, thanks, Brendan. Tonight's forecast, snow starting tonight. Temperatures will be in the low 30s to high 20s. Chance of
precipitation late tonight. I was looking to the weekend. 32 the high today, and then 32 the high tomorrow, but 28 will be the high Sunday with a chance of late snow. So that means the weather headlines are upcoming. First one, the cold will continue. The 50s we had this week, they're not going to be in store anymore, and snow days will ramp up. And so that will be it for the weather. That's all we have for the news today from everyone here at the news desk. Learners today,
Leaders tomorrow.
Red Arrows for life.
Now over to Joelle with the weather.
Thanks again. Good afternoon. Welcome back to another segment of the Red Arrow Report forecast. Today's forecast, snow 1 to 3 inches. That's mainly during the day today. Fortunately, we couldn't get a snow day. 80% chance of precipitation and a temperature 32 degrees. As we look into the Channing Perry Almanac, today's high of 32 is just about or just below average of 36, and about 30 degrees below average record high of 63 set back in 1949. Low today 19, 25 is the average, and the record low is -3 set back in 1962. As we look into the temperatures across the board today, as you get towards the lake, temperatures range in the high 20s, but as you go farther inland, clouds are variant there, and 32s across the board. Let's look into the forecast for the week ahead. Snow all the way across the board from Monday to Friday. Bigger amounts today and potentially this weekend. Precipitation varies throughout the week, and snow days will be on the low end until next week. And as we look into the predictions, speaking of which, 70% chance of a snow day within the next 2 weeks. That's mainly going to be the possibility next week, and same thing with an ice day or a wind chill day. And that's all I have. Guys, back to you.
News desk with Joel with the weather.
All right, thanks, Brendan. Tonight's weather looks like mid-20s across the board, and chance of snow showers early, but that tapers off as we get to the 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock time frame. And as we look into the weekend, 26 the high today and tomorrow, with snow accumulations around 1 to 3 inches today and about an inch tomorrow. Sunday it clears out, but a chance of ice late Sunday night, so we could be keeping our eye out for that. And then for snow day predictions, next week we're looking at a 40% chance of snow day and a 60% chance of an ice day, and only a 5% chance of a wind chill day. And that's our only chance will be coming on Monday. So that's all I have.
That is all we have for the announcements today from everyone here at the news desk. Learners today.
Leaders tomorrow.
And Red Arrows till the end of the year.
That means. Now over to Joel with the weather.
All right, thanks, Regan, and welcome back to our last week before Christmas break. As we look into today's forecast, you can see light rain, freezing rain through the morning, and then it clears out in the afternoon. High 38 today and a 90% chance of precipitation. As we look into the Channing Perry Almanac, today's high 38 is just about average of 34. Not as extreme as 55, set back in 1939, and today's low is 31, right about freezing. Average is 23, set back, or just the average, and then -5 is the record set back in 1926. And as we look into the temperatures around the area, see all across the board, mid-30s, and as you get down toward the I-94 corridor, you can see 40 degrees for Kalamazoo, so if you're heading down there today, pretty nice day to be down there. And as we look into our week ahead, today 38, tomorrow 40, and then it clears out for Wednesday. Then the rain returns for Thursday and Friday. A chance of an ice day possible Friday, but that's at this point is really slim. 60% chance of precipitation for that day and a 40-degree high. Guys, that's all I have. Enjoy your Christmas break. Back to you.
With the weather.
Thanks, Eli. And for this weekend, tonight, I should say, we're looking at 35, and it decreases to 32 by 9 p.m. Cloudy all across the board and a 10% chance of precipitation. And as we look into the next slide, 35 today, 31 tomorrow, and then the Arctic blast begins Sunday with a chance of snow showers. And other than that, it's going to be pretty cloudy for the rest of the weekend. And as we look into our upcoming headlines through break, on and off chance of snow events return for the week, but more likely just Sunday. Sharp Arctic blast, I mentioned, it starts Sunday and it goes through all of Christmas week. And then White Christmas after all, we'll have to see. They're expecting an inch of snow for Christmas morning. That's all I have.
That's all we have today from everyone here at the news desk. Learners today.
Leaders tomorrow.
Red Arrows for life.
Thanks, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to school, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed your 2-hour delay today. Quick fact before we get started here. This Christmas was the snowiest Christmas on record. We had 7 inches of snow. So anyways, as we look into today's forecast, 35 degrees and a light wintry mix. That's mainly here in the morning. And a 3% chance of precipitation. As we look into the Channing Perry Almanac. Anytime. Today's high is 35 and today's low is 19. That's right about average for both categories. The record high is 59, set back in 1965, and the record low is negative 13, set back in 1988. As we look around the area today, all across the board, 35 and 36 seems to be the theme. That snow keeps things warm, surprisingly, and as we look into the week ahead. Today, cloudy, sun comes in tomorrow, and then it gets really warm as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. And then things quickly turn around for Friday, a chance of a PM blizzard bringing 8 inches, and then another 3 inches possible Saturday. Temperatures right around freezing for that. And as we look into the snow day and ice day and wind chill day predictions for the week, the next 2 weeks, 45% for both a snow day and ice day, and only a 5% chance of a wind chill day. Guys, that's all I have. Back to you at the news desk.
News desk.
So for the weather this weekend, or today, we're looking at low 20s to high teens, and that precipitation we have now in the morning is going to clear out, so no chance of precipitation throughout the night. It gets a little windy, and as we look into the weekend, 24 is the high today, 19 tomorrow, Arctic chill returns, and then Sunday night we're looking at a chance of snow and maybe some ice, so we'll have to look forward to Monday. And speaking of snow day predictions, we'll take a look at those right now. Within the next 2 weeks, 65% chance of a snow day, 35% chance of an ice day, and only a 2% chance of a wind chill day. And as of for this morning, I think we should have had a delay at least. I think you guys can agree. Guys, that's all I have.
From everyone here at the news desk, learners today, leaders tomorrow, R.A.R for life.
With the weather.
Alright. Good afternoon, Lowell High School. Welcome back to another weather segment of the R.A.R Report. And we have the weather word of the day today. It is bomb cyclone. You may have heard this word last week. It's what hit the northeast, and basically it's just a rapidly deepening extratropical cyclonic low pressure area. So basically an enhanced snowstorm. As you look across the area today, or at today's forecast, snow showers, 23 degrees, 80% chance of precipitation. That's mainly here in the morning and a little bit into the afternoon. As we look at the Channing Perry Almanac, 23 is the high, 15 is the low, and that's both below average of 31 and 18. Not as extreme as 57, set back in 1949, or negative 15, set back in 1972. Look across the area today. 20s all across the board. It gets a little warmer as you get towards the lakeshore. 26 all up and down from Muskegon down to South Haven, and along I-94, 24 is the story there. And as we look into the week ahead, snow showers, 80% chance today, 23 degrees, 25 for Tuesday and Wednesday, cloudy and partly cloudy, and it clears out as we get into Thursday and Friday. Warm weekend ahead, we could see maybe 50 degrees again. And as we look at the predictions for today, or for the next 2 weeks, I should say, 40% chance for a snow day, 55% chance of an ice day, and a 0% chance of a wind chill day. And let me remind you, we only have one snow day yet so far this year. Guys, that's all I have. Back to the news.
This weekend, that's all I have for the sports today. Now back to the news desk.
All right, thanks, Brennan. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the R.A.R segments this week. And as we look into the weather for today, partly cloudy across the board, 37 degrees, and then as we get into the overnight hours, we get around freezing, but it gets warmer again tomorrow as we look into the weekend forecast. Mostly sunny today, 39 degrees, 40 degrees tomorrow, cloudy skies mainly, but we do have a chance of sun in forecast. That might be in the afternoon. And then Sunday, it's not an Arctic blast anymore. I forgot to take that out. And it's supposed to be foggy with rain and maybe a chance of an ice day Sunday as we look into those predictions. Across the board, 35% chance of a snow day within the next 2 weeks, 55% chance of an ice day, and only a 1% chance of a wind chill day. Guys, that's all I have.
That's all we have for the news today. From everyone here at the news desk, learners today,
leaders tomorrow,
R.A.R for life. Now we're to Joel with the weather.
Guys, good afternoon. Welcome back to another R.A.R segment here at LHS. And today's weather word of the week is enhanced Fujita scale. Now, back in the old days, it used to be called the Fujita scale, but since then, the miles per hour has gone up. So we have from EF0 to EF5, and EF5 is the strongest. We don't usually get those around here. 200 miles per hour That's incredible damage. As we look into today's weather, showers and thunderstorms, 47 degrees, mainly here in the morning, and it should clear out as we get into the afternoon, but no guarantees. As we look into the Channing Perry Almanac, 47 is the high today, way above average of 30, and not as extreme as the record set back in 1894 of 68. The low today, 35, above average as well, 18 degrees, and the record low was -6, set back in 1970. As we look across the board today, it's a wide variety of temperatures, 45 along the lakeshore, 50, 51 as you get down towards I-94, and then mid to upper 40s as you get across the rest of mid-Michigan. And as we look into the week ahead, 100% chance of precipitation today with some thunder showers here in the morning. And then tomorrow we have a change. It'll be snow showers, and then as we get into the rest of the week, it'll clear out. Chance of a 50-degree milestone on Friday. And as we look into the snow and ice day predictions for the week, 30% chance of a snow day within the next 2 weeks, 60% chance of an ice day within the next 2 weeks, but no chance of a wind chill day in sight. Guys, that's all I have. Back to the news desk.
Now over to Joel with the weather.
Yeah, I'm right here. So today, the weather is looking like high 40s, and that's going to be pretty much the story all afternoon into the evening hour, with a mix of clouds and sun, and then it gets cloudy as we get into the midnight hours. As we look into the weekend forecast, today 47 obviously or 49 obviously with a low of only 43, mostly sunny and no chance of precipitation. Tomorrow, chance of rain showers, 30% chance, 44 is the high. And Sunday we get a little cooler, 37 and partly cloudy. And as we look into the snow and ice day predictions coming up, for both snow and ice day, it'll be a 40% chance within the next 2 weeks. It's looking like it'll be 2 weeks out, and then only a 5% chance of a wind chill day. That's all I have.
That's all we have for the news today from everyone here at the news desk. Learners today,
leaders tomorrow.
Red arrows for life.
Now over to Joel with the weather.
Well, good afternoon, Lowell High School, and welcome back to a snowy Monday. Not what you expected, unfortunately, after the 50-degree temperatures on Friday, but today's weather, the word of the day, no joke, haboob. It's a sandstorm usually found in Sudan, but they can also occur here in the United States, especially in the Arizona and Phoenix area. As we look into today's forecast, 27 degrees, some snow showers here in the morning, 1 to 3 inches, and a nice 90% chance of precipitation here. As we look into the Channing Perry Almanac, as you can see, temperatures right about average, 27, average is 31. The low temperature of 15 is 3 degrees below average of 18. The record high for today is 59, set back in 1914. And the low temperature, -16, set back in 1966. As we look into the temperatures across the board here, along the lakeshore, about 30 degrees, and meanwhile, colder inland, 20s, mid-20s, colder near Ashley. And as we look into the 7 to 5 day forecast, once it appears, today, 27, 90% chance of precipitation here, mainly in the morning, and then tomorrow it clears out, 28 degrees, partly cloudy. Wednesday gets a little warmer. We see 40 degrees again, and then Thursday and Friday, it cools down. From this past Friday into this Friday, it's a 33-degree change. Remember, we had 50 degrees here on Friday. And then as we look into the predictions, 70% chance of a snow day within the next 2 weeks, 40% chance of an ice day, and only a 5% chance of a wind chill day. Guys, that's all I have. Back to the news desk.
All right, thanks, Regan. For tonight, we're looking at high to mid-teens across the board, mostly cloudy, and then it gets a little cloudy as we get into the overnight hours with no chance of precipitation. As we look into the weekend, 18 is the high today with a low of 10 here in the morning. Overcast, but chance of isolated sunshine in the afternoon. And as we get into Saturday and Sunday, heavier amounts of snow, 2 to 4 inches for Saturday, 33 degrees, and Sunday, 26 degrees and 1 to 3 inches. And here's the predictions for the next 2 weeks. And if we don't get a snow day this week, then we won't get a snow day at all. 80% chance of a snow day within the next 2 weeks, 30% chance of an ice day, and a 15% chance of a wind chill day.
That's all I have for the news today. From everyone here at the news desk, Learners today,
Leaders tomorrow.
Red arrows for life.
Good afternoon, LHS. I'm Brittany Corner.
And I'm Regan Coxon, and this is Red Arrow Report.
Today is National Weather Person's Day. Yay!
Speaking of the weather, let's go over to Joel with the weekly forecast.
Thanks for the enthusiasm, guys. Today is the weather word of the week is a hole punch cloud or a fall streak hole. Usually you find these in cirrus clouds. That's when there's a lack of ice nuclei, and that's about it for that. Just looking at today's forecast. 1 to 4 inches of snow tonight, 18 degrees is the high, and a 40% chance of precipitation. And as we look into the Channing Perry Almanac, today's high of 18 and today's low of 8 are well below average of 32 and 18, and greatly below average of 52 set back in 1991, and negative 16 set back in 1895. As we look across the board today, temperatures seem to be about the high teens, and down near South Haven, Battle Creek, and Jackson, you breached 20. And as we look into the week ahead, snow is the topic this week. We have snow in all 5 days. This is the first. 18 is the high today, 20 tomorrow, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we see low to mid-20s, and Friday, we're looking at 3 to 5 inches of snow, so we'll have to see when the timing is on that, but that's probably our greatest chance of a snow day at this point, other than tomorrow. And as we look into the snow day predictions, speaking of which, for this week and next week, 75% chance of a snow day, 30% chance of an ice day, and 10% chance of a wind chill day. So far this year, I am 6 for 9 on my predictions individually by the night. And speaking of which, you want to stay updated on my Twitter or Snapchat page, or on the Red Arrow Report Twitter page for the predictions this week. Guys, that's all I have. Back to you at the news desk.
Now let's get over to Joel with the weather.
All right, thanks, guys. Good afternoon. Welcome back to Monday here at LHS. Hopefully you enjoyed your 3-day weekend. Today's weather word of the day, downburst. It is a downward current of air from a cumulonimbus cloud. It's usually in summer, you find it. Then usually associated with an intense rain or thunderstorm, obviously. And as we go into today's forecast, sunny skies, 24 degrees, and only 10% chance of precipitation. That's quite the swing from this weekend. As we look into the Channing Perry Almanac, 24 is today's high, -2 is today's low, surprisingly, and that's way below average of 33 and 19. And the record high was 55 set back in 1984. Record low was -23 set back in 1899. As we look across the board today, you can see about the same thing, mid-20s, 24 here in Lowell, Hastings, Kalamazoo, and Jackson. And along Lakeshore, lower 20s. As we look into the week ahead, sunny obviously today, but then clouds return tomorrow, 32. And then for Valentine's Day, Wednesday, 41. A few rain showers, mainly in the evening. And then Thursday, it'll be interesting. We have rain, and it'll transition to early snow. So that means Friday, 10% chance of an ice day, and partly cloudy skies, 24 is your temperature. Speaking of predictions, for the next 2 weeks, 25% chance of a snow day, 65% chance of an ice day, and only 2% chance of a wind chill day. Guys, that's all I have. Back to you at the news desk.
p.m. on Saturday. That's all we have for sports today. Now back to the news desk with Joel and the weather outlook.
All right, thanks, Eli. This weekend, or tonight, we're looking at mostly cloudy, 31 to start, but then it clears up. 29, 24, and 20 are the temperatures, so it cools off considerably with no chance of precipitation. That only comes in the morning. This weekend's forecast, today's high is 31 degrees, mostly cloudy. Tomorrow it gets a little bit warmer, 37, but snow showers are possible mainly in the morning. And then Sunday, it gets even warmer, 42 degrees, mostly sunny, no % chance of precipitation. And as we look into the closing predictions, 25% chance for the next 2 weeks of a snow day, 55% chance of an ice day within the next 2 weeks, and no chance of a wind chill day because it's supposed to be pretty warm. That's all I have. And that's all we have for the news today from everyone here at the news desk. Learners today,
Leaders tomorrow.
Red Arrows for life.
Now stay tuned for a special segment featuring Mrs. DeYoung's science research class.
And for the weather today, 33 degrees all across the board, and it gets colder as we get into the overnight hours. Mostly cloudy, no chance of precipitation. And is looking to the weekend forecast. 38, I think. I can't really tell. But then 40 Sunday, partly cloudy, and no chance of precipitation except for today. There's a little bit of snow. And as we look into the snow day predictions for the upcoming days, and it's about time to take them off, as there's only a 5% chance of a snow day, 10% chance of an ice day, and 0% chance of a wind chill day. And that's all we have from the news desk today.
From everyone here at the news desk, learners today,
Leaders tomorrow,
Red Arrows for life. Stay tuned for an exclusive interview with wrestling coach R.J. Boudreaux.
Next. And now over to Joel with the weather.
Thanks, guys. Good afternoon, and welcome back to another weather segment here on the R.A.R. Let's look at the West Coast today. It's a totally new layout, mid-60s, and that's
And now for the weather. Today we have 37 and 39 at 3 and 5 p.m. with sunny skies, and as we get into the overnight hours, it'll be getting a little more cloudy and temperatures drop to around freezing. No % chance of precipitation as we look into the weekend. Today's high, 40 degrees, pretty nice, partly cloudy, and then Saturday and Sunday, a warming trend, 50 and 53 with partly to sunny skies. And as we look at the predictions for the next 2 weeks, slight chance of snow Tuesday, so that bumps up the snow and ice day prediction to a 15% chance. Other than that, we have no more snow in sight for the next 14 days. That's it. And that's all we have for the news today from everyone here at the news desk. Learners today.
Leaders tomorrow.
Red arrows for life.
Reminder, the last showings for LHS's Little Mermaid is tonight at 7 p.m. and tomorrow at 7 p.m. as well.
We hope to see you there.
Now let's get into the weather.
Thanks, guys. Good afternoon, and welcome back to another weather segment here at LHS. I'm Joel Fritsma, and you probably can't see me right now, but we'll fix that eventually. Can we go back a slide? So we look at the weather across the nation today. High 80s in the south, chance of severe storms, and on the west coast, low 50s, low 60s. There we are. And then up here in North Bismarck, Great Falls area, about 30s and 40s today. A little bit of a cold trough is moving through, and that'll show late in the mid-coming this week. And as we look closer to home here today at the Almanac, expected high is 44, expected low is 24. The record high was 81 set back in 2012. That was a pretty extreme year. Temperatures across the board today, though, mid-30s, closer here to home. 43 is the story, and in Chicago as well. As we look into the severe outlook for the week, the weather word of the week is stratocumulonimbus cloud. Stratocumulus cloud, and it's a cloud known and characterized by large, dark, rounded masses, usually in groups, lines, or waves, and you can usually find these before severe weather, like the mornings of. And now as we look into our severe weather for the week, or for the next 3 days, here at home, day 1, day 2, day 3, nothing in sight, same with Oklahoma City, but down south in Florida, we are expecting some severe weather for today and tomorrow. Slight risk, actually, for tomorrow for severe weather, and that's pretty extreme, chance of tornadoes down there. And as we look into the week ahead, 44, a story for today. Tomorrow, clouds come in and into Wednesday and Thursday, mid-40s. And as we warm up into Friday. That will not stay for long. 38 is the story for Saturday with a chance of snow about 1 inch. Guys, that's all I have. Back to the news desk.
Support them. And now to Joel with the weather.
Thanks, guys. Good afternoon, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of the Red Weather Report. I'm Joel Fritsma, and as we take a look at our temperatures across the nation today, yesterday we had some high 80s down here, but it's since cooled off with a cold front that brought severe weather has moved through. It's now moving into the Florida area today. Otherwise, areas up here in the west coast, mid-60s, high 50s, and up here in the north, mid-30s, unfortunately, but that trend will break soon, hopefully next week, as we look at the almanac today. Today's high is 38 expected, and then today's low is 25. The record high is 83 set back in 2012, a very warm year. 3 is the record low set back in 1965, and the average high and low is 46 and 28. As you look across the board here, low 20s, or high 20s, I should say, up here in the UP, and then closer to home, upper 30s, and even 41 here in Detroit. As we look at the weather word of the week, it is stratocumulus cloud, which is a cloud known as large, dark, rounded mass, usually in groups, lines, or waves. You usually see these before severe weather, and sometimes even snowstorms. As we look at speaking of severe weather, let's look at the severe weather outlook for the next 3 days. Today, obviously in Florida, we have a huge severe weather outbreak going on in the Tampa area, Jacksonville area. Last night, there were some tornadoes that moved through. Speaking of Jacksonville, Alabama, which got hit by 2 tornadoes. So prayers out to Jacksonville State University today as they're dealing with some recovery efforts. And otherwise, across the board, no severe weather for the next 3 days as we look into the week ahead. Today's high, 38, and today's low brings in partly cloudy skies. We get a little bit more cloudy tomorrow, but the temperature raises up to 43, and then Thursday and Friday, 44, 46, with the clouds clearing out. And then into the weekend, it dips off a little bit with a chance of snow Sunday, but as we look into the foreseeable future, it looks like 50s is in store for next week. Guys, that's all I have. Back to the news desk.
Thank you, Joe.
And for the weather today, 42 and 44 is the story here in mid-afternoon, but as we get into the overnight hours, 7 to 9 p.m., the temperature drops into the 30s and the clouds come in, but no chance of precipitation. As we look into the weekend, obviously with 45 being today's high, it'll be somewhat nice out there, but then tomorrow 41, some clouds around, and Sunday 43, sunny, thankfully, no rain yet, which might be a problem coming up this week. As we look into the predictions for the next 2 weeks, and this is the final closing predictions of the year. Right now, we only have a 1% chance of a snow day within the next 2 weeks, a 5% chance of an ice day, and still no sign of a wind chill day. And for the upcoming headlines, breezy and colder weekend ahead. We have wind gusts up to 10 and 20 miles per hour tomorrow and Sunday. And then next week, we have the 50s return, but only for a short while, as it will get back down into the 40s and a chance of snow next weekend. And we're on drought watch now. We have not had precipitation in about a week or two, so we shall be looking out for that. And that's all. That's all we have for the news today from everyone here at the news desk. Learners today.
Leaders tomorrow.
Red arrows for life.
Please stay tuned for our Friday entertainment. And now to Joel with the weather.
Guys, good afternoon and welcome back to another Monday edition of the Red Arrow Weather Report. And we're going to dive right into it today. Around the nation and the West Coast, mid-50s and 60s is the story again. But down here in the South again, we're going to be reaching 90. So looking nice for the first week of spring break. But up here in Michigan, unfortunately, we're still dealing with 50s and even 40s up in the north, up near North Dakota. And then as we look at the almanac today, expected high is 54 and then expected low is 28. The record high is 77 set back in 1976, and the record low is a balmy 6 set back in 1996. The average high and low of 48 and 30, that's about what we're going to be at today. And then as you can see across the board today, 40s in the UP, and then the warmest spot here in the lower peninsula is Traverse City, 55 surprisingly. That's actually 1 degree warmer than Grand Rapids, and partly cloudy is the story. As we look into the weather word of the week, which is anemometer. It is basically an instrument that is used to measure the wind speed. That's as simple as that. As we look at the severe outlook for the next 3 days, we're having some severe weather this week. So today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, slight risk for the Oklahoma area, Texas area, and that's pretty much stationary for all 3 days. And pretty much that'll be moving into Florida as we get into the later portions of the week. And let's look at our week ahead. Mid-50s today and cloudy, and actually that's tomorrow. 52 is the story for tomorrow with rain, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday getting warmer, 60 degrees expected Thursday, partly cloudy, and then you get into the weekend, it's going to be cooling off again, chance of rain, and even some snow possible Sunday and into Monday. So if you're staying home this week for spring break, it's probably not a good idea, so you might want to get somewhere else. So that's all I have, and I'll be back Thursday for a spring break forecast. Back to you guys.
Nice drink of nothing. Now to Joel for our spring break forecast.
Thanks, guys. Good afternoon for this last day before spring break. We're going to jump right into it today. The almanac, 52 degrees is the expected high, 28 expected low. Record high, cool and comfortable, 82 set back in 1910. The record low is 6, which we might be approaching here soon in Michigan, set back in 1970. The average high and low for today is 50 and 31. And up here in the UP today, mid-30s, chance of snow possibly for them, unfortunately, so hopefully you're not going north today. Back here, down here in the lower peninsula, 53 is the highest temperature, and all around the board, 40s is the story. As we look into the severe outlook for the next 3 days. Severe weather going on right now, Gulf Shores, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia. That'll move out over the next 3 days here. And we might have some more storms popping up here in Texas coming day 3. And we'll see how that progresses coming into the next week here, Monday through Friday. And then as we look at the spring break hotspot forecast. So up first, LA. 71, 70, 72, 74, 68. Very little chance of precipitation here. Mostly sunny, partly cloudy is the story from Monday through Friday next week. As we look into Phoenix here. High 80s, even 91 and 92 in store. No chance of precipitation at all. So if you're looking to get sunburnt, maybe even a tan, if you do that stuff, Phoenix is the place to go. So as we look into San Antonio, for some of you Michigan fans, that are going down there over spring break. 82, 83 will start next week, Monday and Tuesday. Some thunderstorms. Partly cloudy is the story for Wednesday and Thursday, and then we hit mid to high 80s Friday with a chance of morning thunderstorms, and precipitation is scattered across the board. Let's look into Key West, another hot spot. AM rain showers, and then sunny seems to be the story the rest of the week. Actually low 80s, so that's pretty consistent, and precipitation chances are below 50%, so that's pretty nice. And then as we look into Charleston, South Carolina, high 70s, even 65 possible along the coast, partly cloudy though. Really no chance of rain. Wednesday's about your best bet. But other than that, looking pretty nice for Charleston. And then obviously we finish off Gulf Shores. 70s to start. I forgot to edit this, but this is also mid 70s, about 75, 76. With the warm front coming through, that's going to generate some thunderstorms, mainly throughout the week. So it's not going to be too nice of a week down there. But again, you can't go wrong with the mid 70s. Better than what we're going to see here. Speaking of which, is look across the board for if you're staying home this upcoming week. 53, 48, 46, 33 Sunday with the chance of snow possibly at night. And then snow also on Saturday and Tuesday. Rain showers also in this mix, and pretty much no chance of 60s until probably mid-April, unfortunately. So, guys, where are you going for spring break?
I'll be staying home.
I'm going to Florida tonight.
All right. Well, enjoy your vacations, guys.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
Now, that's all we have from the news today. From everyone here at the news desk, Learners Today.
Leaders tomorrow.
Red arrows for life. Have a great break, and remember to have fun and be safe.
You know what? I just don't like grilled cheese.
That's just messed up.
Sorry.
Okay, well, now over to Joel with the sports. I mean,
There we go. Thanks, guys. I myself am a big fan of grilled cheese, but good afternoon. Welcome back to weather here after spring break. As we look at the temperatures across the board today, 52 up in Seattle, 60 in LA, but there is a heat wave going on in the middle of Texas right now. You can't see it, but it is mid-90s, almost 100 degrees there today. And then further areas south, 87 in Oklahoma City, 86 San Antonio, and then mid to high 70s in the further south and up here. The heat wave is just south of us in Indiana, 80s there, here, mid 60s. Can't beat that. And then closer to home today, the expected high is 62, the expected low is 40. The record high was 82 set back in 1977. The record low was 19 set back in 1950. We could be seeing that again this weekend, unfortunately. And then the average high and low, they're actually below what we're going to be at today, 57 and 37. And up here in the UP, temperatures today, low 40s, even 39 here in Ironwood, closer to Sault Ste. Marie, 41, and then in the lower peninsula today, mid 40s, and then there's a cutoff line right about where Bay City is, 64, and then area south, mid 60s as well. Down in Detroit, not a bad day, 72 degrees. And as we look at the weather word of the week, it is an anvil cloud or cumulonimbus insus, and that is a cumulonimbus cloud which has reached the level of stratospheric stability and is formed in the characteristic of a flat anvil shape, as you can see here. We usually get these in severe weather, and speaking of severe weather, let's look at the outlook today. It's a very active weekend coming up. For day 2 and day 3 here at home, we're expecting some thunderstorms, as you can see here. Oklahoma City, day 1 and day 2, so that's today and tomorrow. And then day 3 for Tampa, Florida, that severe weather, which you can see down here, is in Gulf Shores, so that'll be moving into the area by day 4. And then as we look at the week ahead, '52 is the high tomorrow with some thunderstorms pretty much all day, and then it cools off for Saturday. We're going to see all types of precipitation, rain, thunderstorms, wind, and even some snow. 40 degrees is the high there. 36 for Sunday, not bad, or that's actually pretty bad. 36 with rain and then snow in the evening, and then Monday we may have to put out an ice day prediction again. 33 degrees is the expected high, but it warms back up for Tuesday and Wednesday, 43 and 50, with a little bit of rain expected for Wednesday. Guys, that's all I have. Back to the news desk.
thanks, Joel.
And now for the weather. Tonight, 2 p.m., we're going to see some light rain, and then as we get into the evening hours, 6 p.m., the rain picks up, and even a chance of thunderstorms here in the evening hours around 8 p.m. I forgot to add that, but the temperatures do decrease down to 41 and 40. And as we look into the severe outlooks for the next 3 days, today we have severe weather ongoing in the Mississippi Valley region. For here, it will be thunderstorms, and same with Oklahoma City, but in portions around the Mississippi River Valley, it's enhanced outlook. So a couple tornadoes there possible today, and then it moves over in Gulf Shores area tomorrow. We'll still be in the thunderstorm category, so it'll be like 39 tomorrow and thunderstorms. And then day 3, it moves off to the East Coast with the chance of slight risk of storms on Sunday for Tampa. And as we look into the 5-day forecast, 49 is the high today with showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow it's going to be all types of precipitation, a very messy day with winds included. 38 degrees is the high, 31 is the low. Sunday, even worse, 36, rain-snow mix, and that could cause havoc for Monday's morning commute. A few snow showers, 34 is the high, and then Tuesday gets a little bit nicer, 43 and partly cloudy. And that's all we have for the news today. From everyone here at the news desk, learners today,
Leaders tomorrow.
red arrows for life.
No, enough about Fortnite. Let's hit up Joel with the weather.
I agree. Welcome back, LHS, doing our weather segment here. We can say goodbye to the winter weather coming up, and today is the last day for snow. But first, we'll look across the board today at the nation. 58 up here in Seattle, 60 in LA, and it's going to get warm down here in the south. Big fire risk right now, mid-80s, 82, 83 for New Orleans, Atlanta, and even Tampa Bay. Up here in the north, just mid-40s. That means, and after this, that means 50s are coming, zooming down from the north. And as we look across the area today, closer to home, expected high today, 47. Expected low, 29. The record high was a cool and comfortable 86 set back in 2004. Record low is about what we had today, 22 set back in 1983. The average high and low for this time of year is 59 and 39. And then up here in the Upper Peninsula today, we could see some mixed precipitation, 35 in Ironwood, 38 in Houghton and Iron Mountain, and then closer to the Sioux, 44 degrees. And then closer to home here, mid-40s is the story. As we look at the weather word of the week, the Seiche, the standing wave in an enclosed or partially enclosed body of water. We had this weekend. If you remember, it's when the body of water rises and it just swells along the lakeshore. And then as we look at the severe weather outlook for the week, the next 3 days, I should say. Pretty clear. Today we have nothing at all going on in the region, so that's actually pretty nice for a change. And actually very rare. We usually don't have some severe weather. And then it ramps back up for day 2 and day 3. As you can see down here in El Paso, slight risk. And as we look at the 7-day forecast, 52 is the high tomorrow, mostly sunny, and that will be the story for the next 7 days. Sunny, 55 Friday, and then for the weekend, 58 and 60, with some clouds around, but other than that, pretty nice. And then as we get into next week, 63 and 65 is the story. But then again, there's a chance of rain for Tuesday. So other than that, looks like a pretty nice week to break out the shorts coming next week. Guys, back to you at the news desk.
Thank you, Joel.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Friday.
I'm Cameron Klisterman.
And I'm Joel Fritsma, and this is the R.A.R. Report. Today is National Lookalike Day.
Hey, looking good, Joel.
Thanks. Shout out to Tegan for providing this headband.
Now let's get into the news.
Popcorn chicken salad. And now for the forecast. It's looking great today. Good day for some spring sports. 54 at 2 p.m. and then it gets warmer from 4 to 6, 56, and a high temperature of 58 today. And then it cools off a little bit around sunset, 50 degrees. No chance of precipitation. And then as we look at the severe outlooks for today, tomorrow, and Sunday, no severe weather around here at all, but down south, it's another story. In the Oklahoma City, Texarkana area, there's a little bit of marginal severe weather, and then that'll move over into the Tampa area by Sunday. And as we look into the 5-day forecast, today, obviously 58, sunny, no chance of precipitation. Tomorrow, some clouds roll in, but the temperatures get warmer, 60 degrees. And then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we're going to be looking at the mid to upper 60s and partly cloudy. Chance of rain in store for Tuesday. That's all we have for the news today from everyone here at the news desk.
Learners today.
Leaders tomorrow.
Red
arrows for life.
Now let's go to Joel with the weather.
Break out the shorts. Spring is here. Good afternoon, students and teachers, and welcome back to this very nice Monday here in West Michigan. A quick note before we dive into the national temperatures. For those who are asking the question where these graphics came from, I actually made them all myself, except for the severe weather outlooks, which came from the National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center. Another very important note, in 18 school days, I'll be out of here just like many of the seniors will. So if you're looking to follow my footsteps of a career in meteorology, sign up for the R.A.R. next year and you can be the next big star. Anywho, as we look across the board today, I'm going to start up here in the West Coast, 70 today in Seattle, not bad at all, 69 in LA, and then down here in the South, 96 for Phoenix, pretty hot, 73 in Denver, and then that's pretty much a temperature across the entire Midwest, mid-70s, and then down in Tampa Bay, 84. As we look closer to the home today,